Welcome back to Cheeky Mare Stitches 100 Days, 100 Blocks Challenge. We are starting block number 69. It has a large strip set that we get to do. It is a 3 fabric block. Here's what it originally looked like with fabrics A, B, and C. These lines right here, these stripes, will be what we strip set. We will strip set the 2 pieces together in a long line, and then subcut them and sew them together. You might be able to do it similar to a jelly roll race if you've done one of those. Here are my fabrics, fabric A, B, and C. So I'm going to, this is a long piece here, very long piece, and I'm going to sew these 2 together and then subcut them to make. I was looking at this design and thought to myself that maybe this is what inspired Tula Pink's striped fabric, because the dimensions of it when these 2 are put together are perfectly aligned. So if you have some of this fabric and don't want to do the strip piecing, you could just cut a piece of this, fussy cut a piece of this, and make the block even simpler. But let's do let's do the piecing part, and I'm gonna start with the strip set. Here is the strip set sewn together. You can either come in and subcut to the length that it needs to be finished with, and then sew all of those individual seams together, or you can do it similar to a jelly roll race where you cut the long strip in half and sew the long pieces together, and keep doing that until you get the size that you want. I'm going to do it with like the jelly roll race, but personal preference. I will suggest that if you do the jelly roll race method, make your strip set a little longer than it needs to be so that you can square up at the end. I've cut my long strip in half, and now I'm going to sew this long seam but shorter seam than the original, and I'm going to keep doing that until I get the number of repeats that I need, and it should be that I'll only need to cut it one more time in half and sew the next 4 together. I've sewn the original, cut it in half, sewn that together, then cut that in half and sewn that together. Now we just need to cut it in half one more time, or in my case I left a little extra, so I'm now going to subcut it to the pattern specific dimensions, and then we'll be back with the layout. So here's the final strip set, and I've cut it in half. So now I just need to rotate them around to get the effect that I want. And then, so now I will sew the butterfly, or the moths, these are moths actually. I will sew the moths on and then sew the seam, making sure that I nest. I always ironed to the dark, so these seams in here should nest. So I make sure that the green matches up with the lime green matches up with the turquoise. Here's block number 69 done. I have decided though that I will show you how to do this same block with the striped fabric. So here is the striped fabric that Tula has designed, and as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full stripes in here, which is the amount that I have. And then I've cut the desired width, or height in this case, and then I've cut a 1/4 inch on either side of the stripes. And I made sure that both pieces were the same. Okay, so now I'm going to lay it out, and it's a little counterintuitive because remember, this is your seam line. This part won't be seen. So this is the dark side. This would be your A fabric. So make sure you line it up appropriately. So again, make sure the A is towards the moth, just like that. And we'll sew these seams and then this seam. And when I'm sewing these, I'm going to sew with the striped fabric on top so I can follow just down this line on my stitching so none of the green shows. Make sure that you won't be able to nest your seams because this isn't a seam anymore. But and I'm not much of a pinner, but with this particular case, I will probably go in and pin these intersections so that they line up as if I had nested the seams. So there's the alternate block number 69 done. Tell me in the comments which one you preferred. The original or the modified, depending on the fabrics you use. I haven't decided. I kind of like that this one's not as busy, but I also did a whole bunch of work to make this one. So I guess we'll wait and see what I decide when I put the whole quilt together. Join me next time for block number 70, which is our last block in the stripes subcategory.